Hey writers, welcome back to the Writers Room. So excited to be with you for our Summer of Creativity series. And it is sunny outside. It's warm, even hot, some would say. It's my favorite weather. Whatever this weather brings up for you, I hope that you are finding a way to enjoy it. And whether you're escaping the heat and running to your writing room to get some work done, or you're out doing juicy writers walks and vision quests and all the cool stuff that we do at our our events to get inspired and fill the well. I'm really excited to be with you for this Monday series. So we're going to be doing craft today, which I love to do, and we're going to be using inspiration from Franz Kafka. And this is a book that was new to me to discover. I believe it came out last year. It's The Lost Writings. And someone accurately pointed out in a review that they were not actually lost. They have always been here in plain sight. However, the English-speaking audience, they had not been translated and published widespread for an English-speaking audience until the New Yorker, I believe, partnered with the publisher and brought this. It's by New Directions is the publisher. So all that to say, just because in case you like kind of the inside scoop in the publishing industry, that's a little background. But this is it's a beautiful work. It's a very, slim little volume. And even if you don't like Kafka or haven't read Kafka before, what I'm going to take us through today is something that I think would inspire any writer. And it's just something he does right towards the end of this. We talk about flash memoir, flash fiction, flash autobiography. This is it's really half a page that I'm going to be pulling from today for our writers' room work. And what I thought was so brilliant, like they always say, look for the masters to see what they do and then steal it. Remember, not taking anyone's words. That's plagiarism. It's a crime. Can't do it. Don't do it. What I'm talking about, though, are what are the moves that someone is making? What structures are they using? What literary devices are they employing? What new sort of innovations are they making with language or the different craft elements, right, that we can use in our writing to make it incredible? And I think Kafka, to me, does something incredible and profound here in this tiny half-page flash piece. We could call it a flash. I don't think Kafka was calling it flash, but this is what it is. So I'm going to read this, and then we're going to break down what he did. And then the homework for all of us that want to do it this week, I'm definitely going to do it, is how can we do what Kafka did here and do something extraordinary, either embedded within a larger piece that you're already writing, or just as an exercise in and of itself that could take you to somewhere really surprising. So I'm just going to read it first because I want you to just take in, what you get out of it. A legend is an attempt to explain the inexplicable, emerging as it does from a basis of truth. It is bound to end in the inexplicable. Okay, so that's very philosophical, right? Like, what is he even saying? Let's find out. We have 4 legends concerning Prometheus. According to the first of them, for betraying the gods to mankind, he was shackled to a peak, and the gods sent eagles that ate his liver as it kept growing back. So many of us have maybe read that in, mythology. This is the Prometheus story, okay? Pretty darn awful, right? We just leave him on that rock with the eagles pecking his liver, and it keeps growing back, and they keep doing it, and it goes on and on. According to the second, the pain of jabbing beaks drove Prometheus ever deeper into the rocks until he became one with them. According to the third, his betrayal was forgotten in the course of millennia. The gods forgot, the eagles forgot, he himself forgot. According to the fourth, everyone grew tired of the procedure that had lost its raison d'etre. The gods grew tired, the eagles, even the wound grew tired and closed. The real riddle was the mountains. So just take a breath and take that in. Again, whether you like this style of writing, something more philosophical, it doesn't matter, but let's look what Kafka's doing here that I think is so extraordinary. So first he does this, again, we feel like we're in philosophy 101 class. A legend is an attempt to explain the inexplicable, emerging as it does from a basis of truth. It is bound to end in the inexplicable. It's kind of like, can we step in the same river twice? If anyone took intro to philosophy in college or some other thing online, like you might have heard this type of writing, right? Then he says we have 4 legends concerning Prometheus. This is where I think we could really pull something in our own writing. What's a legend that you've heard? It could be a family legend, a famous myth from Greek or Roman, African mythology, Celtic mythology, Nordic mythology, French mythology, Caribbean mythology. There are so many, many of our cultures that we come from started with myths and oral tradition, right? So what are myths that you heard? What are legends? And they can be legends that everyone knows, not everyone, but many people know, like Prometheus. Or it could be something from your own family lore. But we have 4 legends. And I don't know that we really have 4, because the only one I've ever heard was Prometheus being shackled to the peak and the eagles pecking his liver, right? But Kafka gives us 4, and he just asserts as the writer that there are 4 legends. I don't know that there are. Maybe he made up the other 3. I hope he did, because that's what I'm going to invite us to do. Okay, so take a legend that you've heard of and then make up 3 other versions of it. And then what do you want to do with those? What is Kafka trying to say? Different than what you're going to try to say. But what I think he is talking about is trauma. What are the different ways that people deal with trauma, with punishment and redemption? What, so in one, he's just forever, these eagles are pecking him, and ever and ever. It's kind of like the Christian version of hell, right? You're just in it forever. There's no relief. That's it. In the second one, the pain drives him into the rocks until he becomes one with them. Wow. Well, so that's transmutation, transformation, shape-shifting. Really interesting. In the third, everybody forgot about it. He forgot about it. It's like no big thing. They just moved on. Very different, right? Than this eternal punishment. And then in the fourth, which is my favorite, everyone grew tired. It had lost its, raison d'etre is the French word for reason for being. The gods grew tired, the eagles, even the wound grew tired and closed. I mean, I feel like this is something psychologists could bring into their trauma work, right? Even the wound eventually gets tired and closes. And then he does a little twist at the end, which we love to do. The real riddle was the mountains. Okay, so you don't have to go so philosophical, so, legendy. What I'm going to invite us to do as our writing prompt this week is to take a legend that you've heard, sports legend, literary legend, family legend, doesn't matter. Legend at your college, legend in your friend group, urban legend. And then do a flash piece where you're going to explore it 4 different ways and just see what comes up. Just see what comes up and think about it. This, especially when I used to teach a workshop called writing family stories, like writing for Legacy. And it was after my first book, which is a memoir about my family, came out. And one of the things we would do is we would all talk about how, you've heard this, right? 4 siblings could experience the same childhood, live in the same house, have the same, major events happen, and have completely different interpretations, realities, memories of them, completely different. And none of them are liars. It's just we interpret things through our filters. So you could even do, there were 4 legends concerning my dad, right? If you're writing autobiographical work, the first, he was this great guy. He ran this, great division of this business. He was a upstanding citizen. He and the next this, the next this, the next this. So this could be powerful in memoir, essay, even poetry, because this almost reads like poetry, right? Like a prose poem. Certainly in novels. If you're starting an epic novel, there were 4 legends. Then the reader's like, which one's true? Maybe they're all true, maybe none of them are true. Then you get into that wonderful tension of who's telling the story. So I feel like there's a lot here to play with. So take something, you can go back and rewind the video, take something that inspired you about what Kafka did here, use a legend to explore 4 versions of reality and see what kind of meaning, what kind of emotional notes, what kind of craft leaps you can make. See you next time.